Name is Andrew Amth-Reyes. I am from Chicago, Illinois. I'm currently a junior at Colby College, and I'm an architecture independent major. Back my freshman year, so spring of 2019, Adam asked me to be part of the interviewing process when it comes to interviewing new students and ones that we didn't necessarily have like standing relationships with. And he asked me to do that because he thought I'd be a personal person to talk to new people and kind of dive at their experience and get to the nitty-gritty of what they experienced during their time at their respected all-boys school. And for the project overall, I've done the interviews in the beginning, first couple semesters, and now more on the analytical side, looking at different types of quotes and different types of ideas that came out through the interviews and analyzing them to a smaller portion size. About half of them were people that I already knew and became friends with throughout my freshman year at Colby, none of which were actual basketball players that I interviewed, which I thought was pretty interesting. There are a whole bunch of guys from all different likes of life when it comes to sports, more on the artistic side and stuff like that. When it comes to the actual interview process, it was a whole slew of questions I have to deal with, certain things that are brought up and kind of fostered as core ideas at whatever all-boys school that they went to. An example of that being brotherhood was the main one that I did a lot of analysis of in the latter part of me working with Adam and on the whole project. Leadership, each school had their own like moral code / honor code, and it kind of painted a picture of how they wanted each student to be, especially when they graduated with their sense of like an ideal man that came from their school. Community service was something I got a lot from people. They always said how they went on service trips, both in like a local setting, and some even went international to go on service trips. And a lot of the interviewees would talk about the experience they had helping out other people, even when they didn't really get positive ramifications for them other than just the feeling of, oh, you're helping someone out. This is what you should be doing. I wouldn't say I had any stereotypes or biases, because when I first started interviewing the people that went to these schools, I didn't even realize that they did go to these schools until they actually told me, because I was just talking about the project, probably just in passing conversation. And it was a little bit of a surprise to see like, oh, you went to an all-boys high school, I'm still friends with you, and we still have a pretty normal relationship. So I guess that you could say that I had like a bias or stereotype to the types of students that would go there. But overall, I would say that stereotype has been kind of nullified. And it's just like, oh, you can be literally any type of person and still have attended an all-boys school, a co-ed school, an all-girls school. A lot of these schools had some sort of like green or grassy patch on campus that only the seniors or upperclassmen allowed to like be on or touch, and if you're an underclassman you would get like, I don't know, beat up or shoved away into the bushes. I thought that personally that was kind of a heinous story, but overall it was like very surprising and like kind of interesting to hear that, oh, shit like that actually did happen at the school. It really had to do with my like personal relationship with the student. So a few of the guys I interviewed I was very close with, some of them I even lived with, so they were open books into their actual experiences and what life was like day to day at their respective school. Whereas with other interviewees that I wasn't exactly close with, still knew of them just in passing and in general, I received more of like concise, short sentence questions, more of like a pamphlet type response to questions. And yeah, that's the types of interviews that I got from those types of kids. So when it boils down to it, it had to do with the relationship that you had or you've previously established with your interviewee.